What's up, everybody? Today I'm working on the 350 again. Going to be removing the tank and the carbs, hopefully the exhaust and the pegs, and yeah, it should be a good day. We'll try and get some work done. It's pretty nice outside. It's getting colder, but all good. We're moving on here.
Wrenching it up, gonna wrench it up, yeah. Wrench-a-dee-roo.
For the tank, I think all you need to do is got to remove these hoses from the gas tank. You want to make sure that this is in the stop or off position. We don't want any gas. We don't want any gas leaking out of there when we take this thing off. There's also another connector, or another. I think this is like a flow tube under here. Not sure, but we got to disconnect that. Okay, so just moving on here, we're just gonna remove these tubes for the gas petcock. So make sure, there we go. Successfully, no gas coming out. That's pretty good. It's one. Let's just slide right out. There we go. A little bit of gas, that's alright. Next thing I'm going to do is just remove the boots here for the carbs. There we go. Now it's just connected by the cable. So we gotta get it out somehow. So it's connected by the throttle cable here. And it's obviously connected to the other carb by this little piece of metal that moves when you crank it, so it opens both of them. Okay, I think I'm going to take off the tank first and then worry about that. So what I'm going to do is empty all the gas from the gas tank, because I have this little tube here underneath the gas tank that I need to remove to get the gas tank off, and if I take off the hose, all the gas will spill out. So just going to remove the gas here from the gas tank, and then we'll be on our way. Let's open up the petcock and just let it drain. Let's see it coming out there. That makes you want to pee, doesn't it? It's a good stream. Well, we got most of the gas out, and the only really way I knew how. So we removed the tube down here, so I'm just going to pull the gas tank. Should come right off. I already pretty much got it off, but it should come right off. That's basically what was holding it together here. This tube, I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, that was keeping the tank off. But yeah, it's off now, and the bike is looking cool. I'll just show you guys the bike here. Here's the bike without the tank here. So now I can start getting into the ignition coils and start getting this engine and the electrical unplugged here and removing the carbs and stuff. So you can basically see here how much gunk is built up in this tank. That's what happens when you leave gas in a tank for 3 years. But that's alright. We're going to have to treat this tank anyway, so there you go. It's a beauty. She's off. You can see that there's a lot of garbage in the gas tank. It's pretty rusted in there, so it's clogging up the ports, and the gas isn't coming out. They're getting blocked up, and because there's so much rust in the gas tank. Basically, what I'm trying to do is I'm using a turkey baster and sucking all this gas out here. You can just see how much gunk is in there. See all that dirt in the bottom? That was all in the gas tank. So yeah, that's pretty nasty. You don't want to be running that through your engine, that's for sure. I'm just going to take the carbs off here, just loosening the boots, clamps, and right off. Let's see how that works. Opens up, lets the gas in. Carbs are pretty clean inside, actually. You can see that. Just removing the carb here. It's just this little guy here for the clutch. The throttle cable. I'm just gonna pull it down and out. It's a good weight to it. But I won't be using these anymore. I'm gonna get some better carbs. That's the other carb here. Off. Carbs are done. Now, just to remove the exhaust here, we're just gonna loosen. We're just gonna take off these bolts here, and if you can see back here, there's a couple bolts holding it to the frame. I've already gone ahead and loosened that, so I'll just go ahead and take them off. I don't think I'll be keeping these bolts, so get all new stuff, so not too important that I organize or keep track of those. I'm not sure if that's broken or if that's supposed to come off, but it's in 2 pieces there. I'll slide that down, and then I'll take care of the other ones, and then we'll get it off. The other bolts are just right here. And I've already gone ahead and loosened them off, so they're not too hard to get off. One of them I had to use the vice grips on because it was a different size, which is really strange. But so if you're working on this, there's a peg that goes at the footrest. You want to take that one off. I'll get this exhaust off and continue on. Do the same for the other side. And make sure, there we go, coming off here. There you go. So get the foot peg and the muffler here. I don't know why it didn't come off here. There's 2 bolts holding this on, but it's set on there pretty good. You can see how nasty that is. So we're just going to take the exhaust pipe off here. I loosened the bolt for the clutch pedal, so I'm just going to take that off and then slide out the exhaust. You could actually take this off if you want. It's 2 bolts under here, and there's another bar with bolts on the other side, but I'll just slide it off here. Loosened all the bolts for the foot peg, and I'll just take these off right there. So it's gonna take the headlight off so I can get to the electrical in here, so I can just unplug all the wires. There we go. And you can see all the electrical inside of there. And that's a lot of stuff. So there's, fuck you, Joseph. Undo all the electrical, so we gotta unconnect all these connectors. There's got some fuses in here, probably, maybe not. And then get them disconnected, and then we can pull the wires through, and then we'll get rid of the wiring harness. Good way to learn how the bike's wired too is just to follow the wires, see what they do, see where they come from, see where they go. Nothing to it, just unplug. Yep, so let's start unplugging this stuff. So we have your kill switch and your signals and your electrical motor or your electric start. Keep that aside, so we'll just take off the housing here. Body of the bike. So there it is, there's your main. These are all your main controls and speedo, tack, light, signals, your switches for your handlebars. They're all just hiding in your housing here. Just moving ahead with the wiring harness, I'm just going to fish it through the main part of the bike here. Another one here, I'm just going to cut this one off too. Just basically go along and see where we need to unplug some of the wires, and just start unplugging them and we'll feed it through. It looks like these are connected to the coils, and that give you your spark plugs, your spark. Just working with the ignition here. Just gonna unplug this. I'm sure this just comes right off. There you go. So you can see that there. That just comes off, and then we'll just keep moving along here, taking off the main wiring harness. Just moving on with the main wiring harness here, just working my way from the top to the back, from the front to the back of the bike, and I'm just taking it off here, basically. Just removing plugs as I go. Just gonna fish it through the frame. It's a built-in this little boot here is just blocking it from going through, so we're just fishing it through ever so nicely. Probably going to need an impact driver for this little screw here. Just won't come off, but that's okay. I'm just going to cut it off. You can deal with that later. So here's your main wiring harness. It's right here. Well, that's basically your backbone of your bike, your electrical backbone. That's all it is. It looks daunting, but to be honest with you, it's not that hard. I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna try and rewire this bike myself. So when I do it, this will all be new. That's it. That's basically your wiring harness. Just gonna work on getting these coils off here. It's just a 10mm on the frame here. So basically, you got your ignition and your horn. I'm gonna hold on to this stuff. I might need it, so you can just see it's just a bolt that goes through the frame here, and I might hold on to it. You never know. I might still need it. We'll see how it goes. Take this top piece off the top here, so you can just squeeze this out. It's a finicky little part, but it'll come out eventually. And you just have to deal with this one little wire here. Just bend that wire, and it'll come right out. Just like that. And you can see this housing here. These are your coils that make your spark plugs go. So you can see need new wires. See, this thing's broken right off, so that is no good. Okay, I'm pretty sure I'm finished up for today. We got all the electricals, mostly the wiring harness, out of the bike. What else did we do? We took off the carbs. They're all good to go. We took off the headlight, took all the electrical out of the headlight there. And you can see that it's all done. Took out the starter coils, the ignition, and that's about it. I think what I'll do is just plug up these holes here. So not anything getting in there or any moisture or anything. I don't know. I'm sure it's not a good thing. I'll probably do the same with the exhaust. We also took off the exhaust here and the pegs and the footrests. And yeah, it's looking pretty bare. It's coming along pretty well. I think next time what I'll do is get rid of the front controls and the speedo and tack, get all that off. And next time also I'll drain the oil out of the engine, and then we'll take off the chain. We'll remove this cover here, and underneath there will be the sprocket and the chain. So we'll loosen that off, and then we'll take the engine out. Pretty close to getting it down to just the frame and the wheels, a rolling chassis. So getting pretty close. It's looking pretty good. I think it looks pretty cool. Once you get it down to the bare bones, there's not really much to it. It gets easier and easier, but I'm learning a lot, and don't be afraid to go ahead and tackle your own project in your garage. Like I said, I'd never really done this before, and I'm just learning as I go. Please comment any tips you have for me. That would be great. I really appreciate that, and thanks a lot for watching, and stay tuned. I'm going to be keeping up with this project all winter, and we'll be getting her nice and dressed up, and it'll be a sweet little bike when it's all finished. So thanks again for watching, and yeah, please check back and subscribe and all that good stuff. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you soon.
Wrenching it up, gonna wrench it up, yeah. Wrench-a-dee-roo, wrench-a-roo.